All right, y'all, so today we are going through our fitness eval. So this is day one of our Edge program. So starting off with this, right now I'm still in my hotel room. We're about to go ahead and knock out these quick little movement evals, checking to see what limitations are we having as far as mobility, any type of structural imbalances, things of that nature. So some of them are going to be static, some of them are going to be dynamic. Now within the program, it's going to be a couple different evals that we have, all depending on your background. So that way we can try and make sure adequately we put the right things in place. This Edge program is going to be a free program that will be dropping that you'll be able to do and utilize the app if you're within our membership program. If not, it will be in a PDF form that you can try and do on your own. But a lot of the benefits will reside within the membership program, and I'll talk about that as we go throughout the video today. So first thing I want to do, we're going to be starting off with a slight little hip hinge to knee drive, or hip lock, I should say. Best thing to do, try and do this barefoot as much as you can. That way you can kind of see how your feet are, how they're structured, and that way it also allows me, if you're within our membership program, and send this in for a little bit more feedback, then that way I'll be able to help you out a lot better. Starting here, you can go from hands on the hip or hands interlocked and across the chest, all up to you. I'm gonna go with hands on the hip for right now. And so now we're going to go out in front, back up, out to the side, back up, working on that hinge at the same time. Gosh. We're gonna do that one again. We wanna definitely, as we go through these, see which ones that you have to kind of double up on to try and get fixed. But we don't wanna necessarily rest that foot on the ground. Just going from here, and go back, hinge, reach back, and back up. All right, that last one, it's gonna be very difficult for a lot of y'all to have any hip impingements. Squat down. I want to try and do that one again, see if I can get deeper into it. All right, let's try that again. These movements, but we're gonna go through it again. Each side you're doing twice. Hard touchdown. Let's do that one again. Release the hands on this one. Now what we want to do for this eval is just making sure that we have arms up, want to have wrist in contact with the wall, that back portion of the head in contact with the wall, chin neutral. We're going to hold that position. Now what we're going to do is raise arms up, keeping all those points of contact the whole time. And what you really want to watch for is sometimes as those arms go up, back starts to arch. Keep that back flat up against the wall. Keep that back foot straight. So now the next thing, gonna be working on this T-spine rotation. In a prone position, all we're gonna do is go here, take your right hand first, grip behind the back of your neck, bring that elbow down at our starting position. Come up to that max point, hold that, about 3 or 4 seconds. I am a person, I have a very deep hip socket, so therefore it helps me to go a lot wider than what some will. Some, like Olympic lifters, you'll notice they're about shoulder width apart, toes slightly pointed out, and they're perfectly fine. I have to go a little bit wider than shoulder width for me to get a comfortable ATG type squat. I'm gonna try and show my arms as best as possible, but I'll probably have to show that in a separate clip. But I'm gonna make sure our feet are balanced up, slight pointing out, arms overhead. That's the last of our eval movements, right? So all of those serve their own different purpose. The first one, we're going into the different kind of like star toe touches, allows us to then be able to check how our mobility is from a dynamic sense. Are we able to have enough core stabilization while trying to get into deep movements? That's going to be important, especially with the style of training that we're doing in this program. Now, the next one, where we're doing the one up against the wall, it is a way to check the upper body mobility, see if we're able to get into static positions and hold that with some type of sustainability before moving it dynamically, but are we able to maintain that throughout that movement as well? Thirdly, as we go into that reverse lunge, it's something more to try and check not only that front ankle mobility and see how deep can we get that that knee bend and how much further can we push that shin and that knee over the toe, but it also checks that other foot's toe flexibility as well, because as we get back into that lunge, a lot of times where people turn that foot out is because of lack of mobility within the toe. So that allows us to see what things that we might have to put in that may have to comprehend for those type of movements. Now, being able to power through that movement or take it slow also lets me know one of two things. Is there a lack of core stability and coordination, or is it a lack of power that somebody has? If you're doing it correctly and you're doing it as I showed it, you should feel a load up in the hip to where you can fire through that. But once you go through that firing pattern, how did your body react? Those are things that we're checking as well. So as we go throughout this program, and then we got the overhead squat last. Overhead squat is one thing that's really full body comprehensive, because we are focusing on keeping the arms up, keeping the shoulder blades right over the ears to where we're almost able to cover our ears with it, if you will. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you can go a little bit wider, but from that side view, we want to make sure that we are keeping those arms in line. And as we go through that movement, that allows us to see what are the deficiencies in the upper body. Do you understand how to keep a neutral spine? Which does not mean that you're upright, but it means that you just keep your head, neck, shoulders, and all the way through the lower part of your spine in alignment. There isn't any overarching or, rounding of the spine. So as we can see that, we also get to see how is your ankle mobility. If your heels are lifting up, it's not something that I consider necessarily a fail. It's more of a learning thing to see, hey, we might have to have you do something that's heel elevated for the main lifts, but then start to add in more ankle mobility exercises in between other workouts and things like that. Or you might want to try out one of our other mobility programs in conjunction with the Edge program as you get started. And also, when it comes down to the feet, are we seeing the feet start to point out? That also shows that there must be some type of lift, but also a lack of integrity within the arch of the foot that causes your foot to want to spew out just for the comfort of the ankle, because you do not have the arch support to be able to hold that up. So as we go throughout all those things and I'm evaluating all those things, that allows me to see certain things that I need to see to know and understand why is the body moving in this way, why is it doing this, that, and the third, and most importantly, how can I help you fix it? So that way, as you do this entry-level program, you can start to progress into the other ones and progress a lot faster in a more useful way, because we also fixed up all the little areas that needed that Band-Aid fix. So I'm gonna get ready to throw these socks and shoes on real quick. We're gonna head over to the local gym and go ahead and get in this work capacity test. Now, the work capacity test can be done on any cardio piece of equipment. I'm choosing the air assault bike just because it does, for one, track calories, and that's what we're trying to track over a 10-minute period. I'm sorry, got tongue tied. And also, I like the air bike because the more you try to push, the more resistance that you feel against it. So it's almost like the more effort that you give out, yes, you may be able to gain some more calories, but how well can you maintain that against an added resistance? If you have something that also compensates, that's great. But if you don't, find something that you'll be able to either use some type of, fitness tracker. I'm using my Whoop strap. Go check out my review for the Whoop strap. If you haven't already, go ahead and use that code as well, so that way you can get started with Whoop and your own membership. And what was that? Yeah. And also, if you have something that, just will allow you to elevate that heart rate. I don't recommend going outside doing walking. Do something that will try and push you up to like that zone 3 or 4 type of cardio rate. And so that way you can really test yourself at the same time while trying to see how well you're tracking these calories. The watch trackers and things like that, they don't always track it very accurately, and even probably the assault bike doesn't either. But the main thing is, when we do this on day 1 versus day 14, are you using the same type of equipment and the same thing to track it? That's going to be the most important thing. So if you're traveling and you're at a gym that you would not usually work out, and it has equipment that you would not usually use, do not use that for your eval, please, because you will not be able to use the same thing to eval later. So the numbers can get a little skewed. But we're gonna head on over to the gym, go get this started, get this done, so we can get on back, get something to eat, and get in the bed for the night. We got here to the gym. The assault bike is not available, but like I told y'all, it ain't really something that it ain't something we gotta be hard pressed on, only using one piece of equipment. So instead, we're gonna transition this over to the rower. Now with the rower, I think it tracks calories, I think, but if not, either way, we got that Whoop strap. We're gonna light this thing up and get to it. All right, so go ahead, add this activity, switch this over to the rower. All right, I'll start this up. Those feet strapped in. You got 10 minutes, man. We working just consistency on this. Try to find consistency. We're gonna start off with a 7 resistance. Got that one done. So we're looking at 156 calories as read by the rower. And we got my Apple Watch, I should say, that read at 98 calories. Those are our 2 benchmarks. I'll be looking at, by the time day 14 comes around, we're gonna be improved by a lot. I know we will. But now it's time to get up out of here. Gotta go get me something to eat in the hotel and get ready for bed. But yeah, guys, that concludes day 1 of the AH program. If you have not already, drop a comment, it says AH down below. I'll come back with the link. Matter of fact, just check for the link down in the description below. I want to make it easy for y'all. Make sure you follow me on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe, like, share, comment. I'll see y'all on the next one, day 2.